that because that fucking background noise, you need to get as close as you can, but don't just do ears like.
So, last week guys we were showing you how to Nogi move was swimming inside, Carl's made posture, so I break his posture by swinging my hands inside, pulling with my legs, cutting an angle, and then we showed you how to keep it, okay? And then from here, I keep posture control, okay? As Carl tries to posture up, I can only go the height of my hand, I stuff it, and then have my push through triangle, okay? Getting perpendicular, okay? So this time, sometimes then I think we looked at last week, say Carl, he doesn't have rib cage control, and he's got his hands on my hips. Okay, another way of breaking his posture is I can grab his elbows and flare them, and as I pull him back and cut an angle, again, I've got my roadblock on his hip so he can't walk in, I've got my roadblock on the side of his head so he can't walk in, and if he goes to posture, I just switch my grip. So from here, I wrap around his wrist, and when he postures up, that's my goal to stuff it. Okay, lock my triangle, then I want to get perpendicular, leg press, leg curl. So, just another way of breaking posture is it's called this hinge principle, whereby sometimes Carl, he puts the hands on the hips, but he keeps his elbows really tucked in here. Okay, he's keeping me from sitting up, and if I try to flare his elbows, I can't because he's strong. Because once Carl connects his elbows and he T-rexes his hands in boxing hand position here, and I try to pull this out, it's going to be very hard. Even if I put my foot on his hip and try to pull it out, okay? Because he's structurally strong this way, okay? But from here, Carl's arm is connected to the shoulder, okay? But his wrist isn't connected to anything. And if I can create tension in this arm, it means I've got a flare, So from here, I'm going to sit up, so I'm crunching, try and put pressure on his wrist, swim in, I grab his tricep, okay? And once I create tension by pulling his elbow into my body, it's surprisingly easy to flare it, okay? And I put my foot on his hip, and I break his posture, and I'm back into this position again. Makes sense? So again, it just depends on what he's going to do. If his hands is here behind my ribs, I'll always try and do this to break his posture, okay? If he's more on the hips, okay, I can flare, and as I break his posture, I put my foot on the hip, and I end up here, and I've created the angle. But sometimes, he's his hands on his hips, or kind of halfway, and I try to pull these out to flare them, and I can't. I try to swim inside, and I can't. Okay, so I put his elbow or his tricep. Okay, I sit up and put tension into that arm. Okay, it's hard to see it visually, but when you do it as a drill, you understand what I mean. And from here, it's surprisingly easy to flare this. I put my foot on the hip, pull him down, broke up my posture again, and I'm creating that angle. So again, I'm going to stuff this, Carl, because he doesn't want me pushing this in. So from here, I just stiff arm it like this. Okay. I don't want to have it bent like this because I'm not structurally strong. So when I stiff arm it, try to bring it back in, it's very difficult because I'm structurally strong. Okay? Now, it doesn't become how flexible I am to actually bring this leg in. I can just about do it. Okay? And we don't want to base our game on having to be flexible. So from here, I just move my hip out a little bit, bring my leg over, and then I move my hip back in again. See if I've still got posture control here. So from here, immediately, I torque his head, create an angle, leg press, leg curl. And that's my kick through triangle using the hinge principle. Okay, so we'll look at that again. So from here, it just depends where his hands is, but let's just say this time, he's on my hips, and he's his elbows super tucked. Okay, so I sit up, I create tension in that arm, I'm pulling on the elbow. That makes it easier to flare it. Put my foot on his hip, as a hip escape, okay, I'm keeping the angle with my foot on the hip and the foot on the side of the head. I also can stop his posture. So from here, I just latch on his wrist, and if it's in here, I'll do last week's move, which is the push through. Okay, sometimes when I'm doing this, his hand's out here, so I'll just push it out. Okay, I move my hips out. Once my leg comes over, I move my hips back in again. But I'm usually posture control. Okay, lock my triangle. Then get perpendicular, swim under, leg press, leg curl. Okay. So again, pressure. See, when I do a crunch, I'm already putting tension in that arm. So when I torque it, the foot goes in the hip and I break that control. So again, I could try to push this out, but say Carl's very strong and he wants to bring it in, I just stuff it and move faster to it. Okay, or I try to stuff it, and he wants to bring it out, move my hips out, and back in, leg press, leg curl. Again, you can't finish from here, where I'm looking at him, whereby I'm squeezing my knees, but it's a weaker finish. Okay, and then Carl can posture better. So I always try to get perpendicular if I can. So again, from here, rather than trying to finish from here, okay, I'm going to swim underneath. I can do that by coming under the arm, or I can do that by coming under the leg. Once I'm looking into his ear, it's just leg press. Okay guys, so that's your kick through triangle. Obviously the last